Take two. Hello, fellow vapors. Vaping newbie here, and I'm still wearing the Quebec shirt because this is all about Quebec. We're going to be covering a few things, but before I do, I have to give a shout out to my buddy Joe for the new intro. It's great for the winter. I'm loving it, and hope you enjoyed it. Okay, so why is this about Quebec? Well, we're going to be looking at three juices that I recently picked up at the Canada's Vape Expo here in Montreal. But it's hard. It's a hard time to do a video with everything that's going on. Today, December 4th, is the eve of a very well-organized, massively communicated march or protest, if you will, that they're doing in Ontario at Queen's Park. And I'll tell you something. It's coming from all corners of vaping in Ontario, in Quebec. I know some people are traveling in. I wish I had the opportunity. I couldn't make it out there, but I am with all of those people in spirit and wish them luck. Their new laws, Bill 45, starts January 1st, so we're looking at weeks. Unfortunately, here in Quebec, they sort of just brought it in, and you know what? It took me by surprise, and maybe the warning signs were there. Certainly, the warning signs were there, but the fact that it would be implemented so quickly, and there, there are some good laws within that what we call Loi 44 or Loi 44. There are some good laws in there that I agree with, but there are some that are just absolutely nonsensical. And then from there, rumors started about you can't do YouTube. Well, shackle me. You can't do Facebook, that type of thing. But one of the laws is you cannot order online in Quebec from a Quebec shop. So I mean that is scary in of itself. So I want to also take the time to give Daniel Marion and the CVA group a shout out because they are working diligently in trying to get this figured out and how to approach it. But this is trying to segue into something a bit more happy. And I did mention that we're going to be talking about some juice, and I'm just going to get ready, and I'll come back, and let's start there. We're going to be looking at some juices that I picked up from my good friend Duke here in Quebec, homemade, or at least Quebec-made juice, which is becoming larger and larger, and is a source of pride for me. Duke previously had a line called Summer Camp, and I did do a video on that. And now he's coming out with a line, it's still fresh as far as I know, called Gonzo. And within that line, there are three sublines thus far. There's Candyman, Half Baked, and the Liqueurs line. And we're going to be looking at those three juices. I'm using for this video my Delta 2s. They all have, approximately a now 0.52 ohm coils. And before I start, taste is subjective, but you like, I might not, what I like, you might not. Always keep that in mind, folks. And in this day and age, where we can't test e-juices in a vape shop, and I always say it's like a virgin going to a sex shop. It makes no sense. To get an idea of what the juices taste like, we rely on hopefully we rely on YouTube to give us that idea, and then from there it's a crapshoot. And you can't guarantee what somebody's going to like, but you do your best to give an idea of what it tastes like. Okay, so I hope that's kind of clear because it's always tough to talk about somebody else's juice. First, I always like to look at the packaging. So here we go. It comes in this cardboard tube, and one thing I found interesting was when you open the tube, there was actually a rubber tank ring on there, and I really think that is kind of sharp. Also in there was a sticker, which when I have a chance, I'm going to be able to get it out and put it on one of my mods. And then you have the bottles, and the bottles are all in black, bilingual warnings. The only thing that's not on here is the PG-VG ratio. It's my understanding that they're 80% VG, and these are all 3 milligrams of nicotine. They're available in 0, 1, 3, and 4. So perfect for dripping. and they work well in my Delta 2s. They're also sealed, and you're going to say I've been vaping them, but the seal is still there. So really, really nicely packaged. And we're going to be looking at the three juices tonight. The first juice that I have on deck is actually from the liqueur line, and the name of this juice is called Savage Henry. Uh, why Henry is savage, I don't know, but maybe drop Duke a line and ask him. Um, so as I mentioned, I do have it in a Delta 2, and I have this on my EVIC VT at 31 watts and a 0.52 ohm coil. There it is. I'm not a big fan of liquor in an e-juice. Um, it's just the way I am. This does have some fruit flavor to it on the inhale, and then there's a delay, and all of a sudden you taste the whiskey. Now, as a Scot, in my younger days, I appreciated a good Scotch or whiskey, but in a vape, I had a hard time with it because it really does linger. But if you like the flavor of whiskey or Scotch, you're gonna like this juice because, again, you get the fruit on the inhale, and then the linger is the alcohol or the liquor flavoring that's in it. So, just because I don't like it as a juice, it doesn't mean it's not a good juice. It just means it doesn't fit in with my flavor palette. So that's it. That was called Savage Henry. Stick around. I'm going to change out tanks, and we'll talk about the next juice. The next juice is up from his Candyman line, and it's called Rolling Stone, and it was in the bottle that I showed you in the packaging. And I should have pointed out that each of the bottles had this tag. Most of them just fell off, but I like that vape me. Anyhow, so Rolling Stone, whether it's the song or the group, either way, I like it. I like the name. And again, it's in a Delta 2. This Delta 2 is registering 0.48 ohms, but again, I have it at 32 watts. Here we go. There might be something wrong with the airflow on that one because the clouds are a lot more dense than what it's showing. But most importantly, the flavor. And again, both, including the Savage Henry, which was a liquor line, they're still easy on the throat. They're not throat harsh, which I really appreciate. This, they advertise it as a jawbreaker, and that's what it is. It is a candy vape from the Candyman line. Really nice. I've been enjoying it. It was the first bottle of this that I opened, and it's the bottle that I really enjoy. It really is a nice juice. It's not overly sweet. You do get that jawbreaker candy flavor on the inhale, and it sort of lingers there. So very, very nice. And it was funny. You know what? I'm not going to say that now. I'll say it at the end. Let me change out to my third Delta, and we're going to talk about the third and final juice. I always try to save my favorite for last, and this is from the Half Baked line. It's actually called Memphis Blues. Now, Candyman, and then Rolling Stone, and then Memphis Blues from the Half Baked line. I'm starting to like the musical influences, and the whole Gonzo, the Hunter S. Thompson thing. I just like that too. Anyhow, back to the juice. This is why we're here. This is like a cake batter, and lately I've been heavily into dessert type vapes. And this, as I said, the first one I opened was Rolling Stone, and then the second one I opened was Memphis Blues, and wow. I really, really enjoy this juice. It is very, very good. The thing I like about it, it is very reminiscent of eating batter after, you or your mother or your father baked it, mixed the cake mix or whatever, and it was sitting in the bowl, and you always got to eat some off the spoon, or even, when mom or dad wasn't looking, or your better half wasn't looking, to stick your finger in and try it. That's what it tastes like, and it really is nice. And again, it's smooth. Um, this line, it's such a great introduction into Gonzo. And the thing I love that Duke does is he does it in a slow pace. He doesn't come out with 18 flavors. He sort of perfects the flavors that he has and goes on. So that's really, really showing. And of the three, my favorite is definitely Memphis Blues from Half Baked line. So really, really good juice. How do you get it? Well, the problem is Duke creates the juice, and it's generally sold through retail outlets, but that expands. I am going to put down below a link to an email address, and if you're interested in trying it, maybe you give them, send them, pop them off an email and get in touch with them. But if you're here in Montreal, you're going to want to look them up. I know his Campfire line is available at Vape Royale. I don't know if the Gonzo has been released yet. Duke, I hope you're watching this. Maybe you can answer that question. But if you want to find out where to get it, and trust me, it is a line of juices you're going to want to give a try. Pop them off an email. So I'll have that down below. As well as I'll put the Gonzo Facebook page down below as well. We'll link to that. Duke, you're doing great things. And I should say, folks, that I call Duke a friend. I know him on Facebook, or I see him at Vape Meets, but it does not slant my opinion of what his juice is. It does not affect it in any way, shape, or form. So it is very well worth trying. I'm very, very pleased with how this came out. And it came to me as a surprise. The juice was given to me without any request for video. Doing the video was my idea. I mentioned in my last video that I really didn't think I was going to be doing them anymore, but I had several requests when I was at Canada's Vape Expo in Montreal, so I'm doing that now. So thank you very much, Duke. Great job. I believe it's called Quebec Vape Labs, but I'm not sure about that. They're gathering all these Quebec juices, and again, so much pride. Represent, and you want to give it a try. Keep an eye out for Bill 45 in Ontario, Loi 44, or Bill 44 in Quebec. We must stop it. Let's unify. There's no reason not to do that. And again, I wish I was at Queen's Park on December 5th, but I am there in spirit. So that's it for tonight. That's the Gonzo line. Congratulations, Duke, on another fantastic launch. You haven't let me down, certainly, in the juices that I've tried. And if Canadian Vape Expo in Montreal was any indication, they had this small booth. It was always jammed with people. I had a hard time even talking to Duke for 3 minutes. He was so busy with customers. So a nice job on there. That's it. I'm done for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I love having you over. Stay healthy. Happy vaping. Take care, folks.